Hey guys, I'm Ruben Gomez with the Seasonal Movement, and in this video, I want to show you how to increase your energy during the winter time. Alright guys, what I want you to consider is that the problem is very obvious. When winter arrives, we tend to peak in our energy levels, which tend to lead us towards a lower productivity. And it doesn't really matter which area of your life you're looking into it. It's in every single area of your life. It relates to exercise productivity, it relates to sleeping, it relates to your professional career, it relates to your business, your job, it relates to your family, it relates on every single area because the problem is that when we are not at a peak performance level, when our neurochemicals are not in balance, then we are not able to perform at our best. And we start compromising. We might push really hard in one area, maybe it's our professional career, but then by the time that we get home, we're tired and we're not spending time with the kids or with our significant others or within ourselves. We might have goals to connect more spiritually and read our Bible, do meditation, whatever that is for you, but you might not have the energy to do it. So then you start lacking in that area. So energy essentially is a combination of a good mental well-being, a good physical well-being, a good mindset. The list goes on and on. It reflects as the capacity that we have to immerse ourselves into our goals and achieve results. So it's very common in the winter time that energy goes down. The solution to that is a combination of behaviors that take into consideration the environment that you are into on every single season of your life, but in this case, we're talking about the winter. Now, let me explain into more detail what the problem truly is so that you can understand what to do about it because it's going to come very natural. The winter has an environment that is very different than perhaps the summer. It's also very different than the fall and the springtime. That environment has a high influence in our subconscious behaviors. 95% of our brain capacity goes towards subconscious thinking at pretty much every single level and every single area of our life that we can imagine. For example, breathing. Our blood is pumping constantly. We don't have to think about that. But how this relates to the environment is that the environment has a dramatic influence on those non-conscious behaviors. For example, the behaviors that we are wired within our subconscious brain are letting us to survive. They are not letting us towards be at a peak performance. They don't let us to be at a complete satisfaction at any given point in our life. They are here to help us survive. These are within our genes. You can call it DNA memory. I mean, you can look back 5,000 years ago. We were spending time on a cave during the wintertime. What do you think you're going to be led to do when winter arrives today? In order to survive, our brain basically guide us towards saving energy and towards avoiding risk. Which, if you want to be successful in today's DNA, you actually are encouraged to take measurable risk. You're encouraged to get outside and do things. So you can see the conflict happening from what you want, what you desire, and what your brain is leading you to do in a specific time of the year that from an evolutionary perspective is extremely risky. I mean, we take for granted now that we have lighting, we have heating, we have clothing, we have housing, but the reality is that our brain has not evolved as fast as we have evolved as a society. So there is a disconnect there that I want you to understand because that is honestly the biggest problem. The environment is changing. You are not understanding the impact that it has at a non-conscious level, and you are failing to adapt to that environmental change. We tend to adjust at a non-conscious level because, hey, we're surviving and we are here, we're producing, we're paying our bills, but at which cost? Are you able to maintain a satisfaction level throughout the whole year, or are you experiencing patches? Are you experiencing crisis? Are you experiencing non-satisfactory times of the year where you're just surviving, but you are not thriving? And I can guarantee you that you can thrive in the winter time. Me and others that have applied to the seasonal movement way of understanding and living have done just that. The winter has become the best time of the year for me. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I know that it's cold outside. I know that there's less sunlight. I know there's less social events happening. But I can tell you that by knowing that, I am able to adjust my routine so I can take advantage of goals that I have in my life that are more convenient to achieve during this time of the year. So I think I'm leading you towards the solution already. I think you're seeing the path that I'm taking with this, which is that the solution to have energy in the winter is to adjust your routine for the specific conditions that you're experiencing during the winter. There are many advice out there that tell you that, hey, you should exercise, you should eat well, you should have well-being activities like meditation, breathing, stretching, yoga. The list goes on and on. You should sleep 8 hours. You should be connecting with nature. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And these are behaviors that are proven scientifically to be positive. So why can't you stick to them in a consistent manner throughout the year? I think that the problem comes with not understanding how the environment changes and how we should be adapting to it. I'm telling you, the winter has become the best time of the year for me to satisfy my physical desires. Like, I want to look and feel great. The winter has become that time of the year that I go into a very good nutritional plan. I go into, burning fast, building muscle, getting more strength, and then I transition into agility, power, the list goes on and on. And not just that, but when it comes down to opening new businesses, this video that I'm making right now is a lot easier and convenient to do during the winter time compared to the summertime. I have 3 kids. There's a lot of distractions throughout the year, but more specifically in the summertime, for example, there is a lot of activities that they get into. And myself, I play baseball. I play twice a year and I train every single day. And I have my businesses and I have rental properties that people move out the most in the springtime. I actually set up my leases so that they expire during a specific time of the year that will be the most conducive to lease them at a higher price, and that I can focus on that activity for a period of time knowing that then I don't have to worry about it. This is just an example that you can apply to your winter routine. And we go into detail on how to do just that on every single season of the year in my school-free community. I have developed the neuro-seasonal programming method, which essentially what it does is that it combines neuroscience, circadian rhythms, which is human biology, and Chinese traditional medicine, which is Eastern philosophy that has studied the effects of the seasons and has basically a wealth of knowledge and documentation from millennials ago. And we can combine that to allow you create a routine that is specific to your geographic location, to the time of the year that you're living, and more importantly, to your goals. I explain you the common pitfalls and the opportunities that exist within every season, because in this case, having a lack of energy can be seen as a challenge. But as I just explained you, it has become an opportunity that if I can increase my energy during this time of the year, I can accomplish a lot more in many areas of my life that I cannot during other times of the year. So we have to look into our sleeping routine during the winter time, or exercise routine, or nutrition during the winter time. And when I talk about nutrition, there is actual Asian philosophies that look into a very detailed manner on this specific subject. But I'm just looking at timing, frequency, and quantity. Those are the things that you have to look into in every single behavior, is how you are adjusting the timing to be in alignment with your circadian rhythm. Because as the seasons transition and as the winter settles in, most likely you are into a summer routine that has worked well for you, but you avoid the transition, you don't know it, and you don't do it, you don't transition into a routine that would align your circadian rhythm during this specific time of the season, during the winter time. So that's where the issue lies. At the same time, that becomes the solution. So I encourage you to go into our school-free community so that you can start diving yourself into it. It's completely free. I want to change as many lives as I can, and I want to bring my message to many from both a philosophical and a practical perspective. You can find us in school at The Seasonal Movement. And like always, please like and subscribe. The link is just down below. You're just one click away. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.